Hello, and thanks for listening. I just kind of wanted to share thoughts that I have and just a little bit of my experience. And this particular video is about the world doesn't know him. And I just want to say that I know a lot of times people say it doesn't matter um, what you call the Messiah or the anointed of Yah. um, what you call, um, who the world knows as Jesus, but that's not truthfully his name. Um, and it's like when we say that those that know the knowledge of the truth, of course you don't know, you don't understand, but it's like we ourselves, we feel disrespected when people call us something other than our name or call us the wrong name. Even if it's a mistake, we feel offended. So it's like, okay, how much more respect should we give the Most High and His Son? Um, and names do have meaning. Um, they represent a person's character, a person's culture, or heritage. Um, and the Most High's name, for those who don't know, his name is Yah, which means the self-existing one. And one of the famous scriptures that show that is Psalm 68 4. It would say his name, Yah, in some translations. Not every translation, I don't think, but I know in various translations it will actually have that. So that's not there just because or for no reason. Whoever translates these scriptures, usually from what I see and from reading the preface, even, they know the name of the Most High. So don't be deceived. But anyways, I just remember like years ago when I was seeking the truth, um, their names, the Most High God and His Son Yehoshua's names got revealed to me. I was researching, I was seeking, I was praying. This is something that I didn't always do. I always kind of prayed growing up, but I wasn't part of a religion. Um, I wasn't a Christian. I wasn't, I just lived my life. So when I started seeking, the names definitely is something that came up. And I noticed when I understood, when the Most High gave me understanding, and I started calling on the names Yah and Yehoshua, I saw the power and how how the Most High God could really hear me because I was calling His name. It's like when you say somebody's name and that is their name, like they turn around and look at you. They're like, what? I mean, so directly, um, like just being able to call the Most High by His name is truly a blessing. And when His Son is revealed, that's truly a blessing. And just to say, too, it's not just the name of His Son, Yehoshua, but also who He is, His character. And that's something that you have to read from scriptures and study. Um, as often as you can to get to know the true Messiah versus what the false Messiah that the world gives, which is Jesus. And that's a whole nother subject because if you do the research on that, you know, um, it's false, it's not the truth. And the letter J is pretty much still new in the English language. There was not a letter J at the time the Messiah was walking around on the earth, so nobody was being called Jesus or any other name that started with a J. So that's something new that was created by man. Um, because I definitely noticed a change in my life when I started calling on the true names of salvation. Yehoshua's name does mean Yah's salvation or the salvation of Yah, which shows the meaning and character of his name and is Hebrew. So, anyways, So we are responsible. I mean, those of us that have been awakened, that have been unplugged from the matrix, not just physically but mentally, and we come across this knowledge, and the Most High showing us we are responsible, we are accountable, and if we continue to, for example, call on the name Jesus, which the majority of the world is still doing, that is a broad road to destruction. That name is popular, but the Most High God is set apart and is not into popularity. Neither is Yehoshua. So we are held accountable. It's okay to explain why you're not saying Jesus, explain why you're calling on the true name of salvation, whether a person understands at the time or not. But we are held accountable once we know this knowledge and know the true names. It's not a light thing. And that's one thing I just kind of want to share that because it doesn't make any sense, like, to know the knowledge of who you are and know the truth of scriptures and name to be revealed and just be like, it's not a big deal. I'll still call on Jesus. It's because you're still following the world when you do that. You're still being part of the matrix. You're not fully unplugged if you choose to do that. And it is a choice. It is your choice. But once again, um, we feel disrespected if someone calls us the wrong name and we don't like it. So the one that created us doesn't like it either. And if you actually are into studying the scripture, there's so many scripture where he says, "Call on my name, seek my name." So therefore, it is important, and we need to respect that and understand that. But there is power in the name Yehoshua, Yah salvation. I know from experience that's the truth, and when you follow Him, you are choosing to walk a narrow path that most of the world will not like or will hate you for, but they hated Him first. Yehoshua is not popular with this age, present age, with this world, but Jesus is, and that's something to think about. Okay, thank you for listening. Shalom.